The Vast of Night is a brand new film that just premiered on Amazon Prime this weekend. It's Andrew Patterson's first film, and this is a micro-budget movie. It's about a radio DJ and a switchboard operator in 1950s New Mexico that come across a strange signal that's coming through their system, and they soon begin to realize that something might be hovering over their small town. This film opens with a slow push-in on a 1950s television, and on that television is a sort of faux Twilight Zone intro with somebody who sounds like Rod Serling. And it actually displays the film's title, The Vast of Night, within this intro. And then we zoom into the TV, we become part of that TV, and now we're watching the film. And that intro tells you everything you need to know about this movie. If you like The Outer Limits or The X-Files or Twilight Zone or any of those paranormal shows that explore these types of events, you're probably going to enjoy this movie, because this film feels like a tribute to all of them. As already said, this is a very low-budget movie, and what Andrew Patterson and his team does with the camera is very impressive. You can see where they have to make certain caveats for their budget. There's very long takes. There's like a 9-minute take of the switchboard operator just going back and forth between calls, trying to decipher what a noise is. And if you can get your actor to do that 10-minute take, okay, good, move on. You've finished that scene, let's get going. The film is broken up into various stories that they hear from people who call into the radio or people who they actually go and interview them and record them thinking this might be important. And those stories are also usually told with very long takes. You can see that they're trying to conserve time. And where sometimes that might get boring, or you might feel like they're conserving time and it's not really working for the pacing. In the case of this movie, the stories are so creepy and they're actually very well acted that it doesn't matter. You just get engrossed in the story. And it breaks some rules in that way, at least some rules for first-time writers you often hear about, of not too much storytelling. Eliminate long blocks of text that are on your page that stand out. I'm assuming if they showed this script to people for notes, they probably got a lot of feedback about really long blocks of text, of dialogue. That's understandable. But in a film like this, it really works because this movie captures the sort of live wire immediacy of a few people in a small town stumbling across something monumental. And so they're going to talk about it and they're going to share their expertise about it. But when they aren't saving time with really long takes, they utilize some really fun and inventive camera work. There's a shot that tracks from the switchboard all the way to the radio station through the entire town. And I read an interview with the director where he talked about how they accomplished that shot, and he said that one of the things they did was they gave the camera to an 18-year-old on a go-kart, and he just sped through the town, capturing this amazing footage. They utilize a basketball court to its full capacity. Every single extra is showcased in full for that sequence, because as much money as you can make people think you spent on a scene, you might as well make them think you spent it. This is really impressive filmmaking, and a lot of it works. You can see that they are desperate to make a movie, and they're doing their best to make a film that they can within their means, but it's actually kind of suspenseful. This movie is basically made for me. My mom and I used to watch movies like this all the time because, like a lot of great movies that are about some sort of paranormal event, they focus on a few characters who are encountering this for the first time. And they're sort of in the middle of this crazy event that they don't understand. And they're all just running to catch up, sometimes very literally running to catch up. And so the movie feels very in the moment. And I've always loved films that take place in a contained period of time. That's something I'd really like to do one day, is to make a film that's all just one fucked up night, you know? I'm actually trying really hard to accomplish that right now. So my biggest recommendation to you is to not watch this film assuming you're going to get this gigantic alien invasion movie like Independence Day where ships are coming out of the clouds and blasting cities. This is a super small scale movie, and they utilized every single thing at their disposal to make the film. As for issues with the movie, some of the color grading could have been a lot better. The darker aspects of the image, in certain scenes, they would look very brown and washed out, and there would be a lot of glow from car headlights that accomplished this. And it wasn't very visually attractive. And then there were other scenes where the darker parts of the shot looked great. So the color grading, I think, could have used a little more work. The lighting was too dim in certain scenes. Actors didn't have enough eye light, and so sometimes you couldn't really see their emotions and reactions to things. And that's really important, especially in a long, like 10-minute take. A lot of that you can tell is due to budget, but I can absolutely say that if this filmmaker is given a little more money and more of a crew next time. I'm extremely excited to see what he does. I'm going to give The Vast of Night an A-. Please keep in mind that this is a grade given to a film where I am recognizing their limitations. That's something you really have to think about when you walk into a movie like this. This is not going to be like other films that have millions of dollars at their disposal. And for what they had and what they accomplished, I was extremely impressed, and I can highly recommend this movie. It was also turned down by a surprising amount of festivals, including Sundance and a whole bunch of other festivals, and I'm very surprised. Granted, there's no names in this movie, and for most everyone involved with the film, it was their first project. So I can understand why some of those bigger festivals don't care anymore about movies like that, because they've kind of moved on to like looking for names, which in a way is its own kind of bullshitty thing that maybe I'll talk about one day. But besides that, please do check out this movie on Amazon Prime. I think it deserves to be supported, especially by indie filmmakers and people who want to make movies. It's very inspiring. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.